Welcome boys and girls from YouTube. My name is Sloth, this is the SlothForge, and in today's video I want to show you some tips and tricks to achieve higher damage numbers when it comes to the Vortex boss. Now on my server, Vortex number 4 opened up like 2 or 3 days ago, and I saw that many people struggle to reach the damage numbers that they want to achieve. And I think there are some crucial tips and tricks that many people don't know about or did not think about. So I wanted to show you some tips and tricks that will help you to achieve better numbers, and I'm absolutely sure that at least 1 or 2 tricks out of the tricks that I'm going to show you will help you as well. And if they help you, if you find this content useful in general, consider to leave a like and subscribe, because it helps me a lot and it helps the channel a lot. But now let's get into this. The first tip. And the first couple of tips are a bit about gear. And then in the second part, I give you some other tips and tricks as well, which will help you to achieve higher numbers. Now, first, let's talk about some very important and very strong gear pieces. The first piece I want to talk about is the Mountain Echo, the Ancestral Guidance set. Most people, especially on the official Discord, just refer to this set as the lifesteal set, because this is actually what it does. It provides lifesteal. And this lifesteal can be so useful. It just can help you to stay alive for way longer. It makes your healer's life so much easier, because he does not have to heal all on his own, because your DPS units now can heal themselves a little bit as well. So the Ancestral Guidance set is extremely useful. And actually, this is right now, when it comes to Vortex number 4, the biggest issue that most players have. The issue is that they are not able to stay alive for the whole 10 minutes, or at least for the whole team to stay alive for the whole 10 minutes. So a set like the lifesteal set just helps a lot. And even if your DPS unit is only alive for another 30 seconds or another minute, it is just so much more time where your DPS unit can deal damage. And it adds up. It is very useful. So first, the lifesteal set. Now another extremely strong set, which not so many people talk about right now, is the Tunnel King's Legacy set, or the Schadenfreude set. This is also such a strong item, or such a strong gear piece, but not for every single character. Now for Casper, for example, this is absolutely useless. But for your debuffing unit, in this case for Felicity, this is so strong, because every single time the wearer inflicts a debuff, he performs 2% self-healing. This is so strong. Especially for Felicity, this is like the best in slot item, because she is applying 8 of those debuffs. And every single of those stacks counts as 1 debuff. And now if you have her with the Witch Remains, it's another debuff. So it's like 18%, so nearly 20% of her HP is healed every single time she's using her ultimate. And if you know Felicity, thanks to her passive, she's using her ultimate very often. So this helps her to stay alive so much. Highly recommended the Schadenfreude set for Felicity. But in general, for your debuffing unit, it just helps a little bit. So yeah, the Schadenfreude set. Now, let's talk about the third gear set I want to talk about. The Ancestral Protection. And this is, yeah, it is my personal opinion, the best set for your tank. Just overall, it is the best tank set. At least for teams like this, where you have 1 tank. Because now, not only does your tank overall get a bit less damage, like 10%, which is a lot, but also he consumes, or he transfers, some of the damage that your other units get. And let's be real, if you're not using the Ancestral Protection set, it's like always your DPS units that die before your tank. So this is why this Ancestral Protection set is so useful. Now, if you are using this set, then actually sometimes your tank is the one who dies first, just because he consumes so much of the damage that your other heroes get. But it is worth it, especially because you're building your tank with high defense and high HP. So in combination with the first part of this effect, where he gets another 10% less damage, it is just best in slot in my opinion for your tank. And most people out there are using the Ancestral Protection set on their tanks as well. So now that's it when it comes to the particular gear sets that I want to recommend you to use on your heroes. And as I said, you should use the lifesteal set on every single DPS unit if needed or if possible. Now for example, Flora, she has no big problem to stay alive for the whole 10 minutes. This is why she does not need the lifesteal set, at least for me for now. Who knows what would change in the future, but right now she's the only one in my team who has no piece that helps her to survive longer, just because she can survive on her own. But now that's it when it comes to the particular sets. Now I want to talk about gear in general a little bit. First, it's just more of an overall, like a general tip, but try to min-max your gear on a daily basis, because we get so much gear every single day, not only by farming dungeons, but of course mostly by farming dungeons, but also we generate some gear passively, just for logging in, just for clearing some events, and so on. So we acquire many gear. So just try to min-max your gear on a daily basis. There is, like nearly every day, there is at least one piece that you can change that helps you to deal more damage. So this is what I would recommend you to, to just min-max your gear on a daily basis. You can always swap a little bit, and you can just try it out a little bit. If it does not work better, just go back to the old gear, and you learned something at least. But when it comes to min-max, there is another thing that I wanted to mention. First, there is this Elemental Ascension. I saw many people who are not using the Elemental Ascension on their whole team, and I don't know why, because it is so easy. Those legendary Ascension stones are so easy to come by, because as I said, we get so much gear on a daily basis, and there is so much gear that you will never use, so you just can consume this gear or convert it into those Ascension stones and ascend your gear. And you should ascend every single piece of gear, even the top row, even the helmet and the weapon. It does not provide much, only 67 attack and only 1500 HP, but it adds up. And 1500 HP, actually, it is not much, but it is a little bit, and it adds up. So ascend your gear, ascend every single piece of gear. But not only should you ascend your whole gear, you should also temper every single piece that you are using. Because once again, those small numbers, they add up. If you ascend every single piece, this is a lot. And even, or especially, those defensive stats, they add up. It's like only 800 HP here, but it's another 800 HP here, and here is it's another 6% HP and 8% defense. And this adds up. It is a lot. So temper your gear as well. But be a bit wise when it comes to tempering your gear. Don't temper every single piece just because I said you to do so. Temper the gear that you are planning to use. Temper the gear that you feel like it's a good piece, or that you know you will probably use this gear for the next week or two. Just generally speaking, if you have the feeling that the gear is good, then you can temper it and it will help you. But if you temper it, you can temper every single stat. It adds up. Yeah, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I hope that you get the point. Just min-max everything. It is going to add up. Because let me show you an example real quick. Like if your DPS unit is only dealing like 5% more damage now after you changed some gear, tempered it up a little bit, it is like you are like probably, it's only 5%. This is not much. But if you're dealing 100 million damage, this means it's like 5% more damage. So it's 5 million damage. And 5 million damage can make a big impact. It can be the difference between a particular threshold, a particular reward threshold. So temper your gear, ascend your gear, and just swap your gear if needed. This is my min-max tip. Just min-max everything if you want to. But of course, you don't have to stress yourself too much. Now, the next part is also, it's just a general tip, but I saw that many people don't know about this tool. You can go to the ranking and you can look up what the other people on your server are using. So just look for other people that are using the same team as you, and you can not only see their team, you can also click on their heroes and see what their heroes are equipped with. You can see their exact stats, so you just can try to copy them or try to understand why they are using their items and just try to rebuild their teams. So this is just more of a general tip, but yeah, like I said, some people don't know about this tool, and it is highly recommended to do so, because especially when it comes to the non 100% meta teams. For example here, this is like not the Flora team, which for some reason everyone is using. Yeah, we know the reason. It's because it is the strongest team right now. But if you do not have Flora, you are 100% free to play, or you just went for Nasty J, for example, for Nastyanka, then just look for someone else who is using Nastyanka and who is performing well, and try to understand why they are using their team like they are using it, why they are using the gear that they are using, and try to rebuild their team. So this is my next tip. And now there are only 2 more tips to go. And the first tip, actually, it is about RNG. And especially when it comes to wild teams, but not only for wild teams, but for all teams. There is so much RNG. So let me show you real quick. I'm doing now 5 runs, and there will probably be a big difference when it comes to the damage outcome. And yeah, because there is so much RNG, sometimes your unit, sometimes your tank dies after 3 minutes, sometimes he dies after 5 minutes. So as you can see now, I survived 10 minutes and did like 600 million damage. But probably the next run, it could only be like 400 million damage. And I'm not kidding. Sometimes my team only deals 300 million damage, while in the next run, it deals 600 million. It is very strange, but especially when it comes to wild, there is so much RNG involved. Now, as you can see, here, we survived 3 minutes less. We've dealt 100 million damage less. So there is so much RNG. And if you really, really want to min-max your progress, just run the stage over and over again. But, and this is my final tip. Okay, as you can see, another 500 million. So now I'm relatively lucky, but it is sometimes way worse. But now let's go to the final tip. And this is probably the most important tip. Don't stress yourself too much, because those ranking rewards, they are not that the most important part about this game. If you are not reaching the top 20, you always get like 3,000 of those affinity materials. So if you are somewhere between top 20 and top 300, you don't have to stress yourself too much. Also, those echoes of Clepsydra, they are nice to have. They help, but they are not the most important part when it comes to this game. Because let me show this to you real quick. There is the season ranking. And when you look at the rewards of the season ranking, now for season phase 2, the difference once again is not that big. As you can see, as long as you are not hitting like the top 3, and probably you will not hit the top 3, there is nearly no difference. It's like 1 legendary scroll within like 3 weeks. I mean, come on. It's really not the end of the world. The only important part is that you are in the top 5%. So, and the top 5%, you will probably, if you're watching this video right now, if you are an active player, you will reach the top 5%. I'm very sure about this. Because as long as you're in the top 5%, you get 20 of those summon tickets. And it does not matter if you go for the blue ones, the purple ones, or the golden ones. Because it is those summoning tickets, they guarantee you a legendary within 10 rolls. So with the 20 summon tickets, you get a guaranteed 2 legendaries with your 20 dice. But the difference between those tickets is just that if you have the legendary ticket, you have the possibility to also get the exclusive hero. But you won't guarantee yourself the exclusive hero within those 20 summons. There is just the possibility. The possibility still is like 0.005%, so it is still super unlikely to get the legendary heroes. And same with the purple and the blue one. There is nearly no difference between those. You guarantee yourself 2 legendaries within 20 rolls, and that's it. So don't stress yourself too much. As long as you are in the top 5%, and if you're playing actively, you will reach the top 5%. You get 2 of those, 20 of those summon tickets, and guarantee yourself 2 very easy legendaries. And well, that's it. I think I've mentioned everything that I wanted to mention. If I forgot something, please let me know in the comments below. If you have some additional tips, please as well let me know in the comments below. As always, I'm very, very interested in your opinions as well. And yeah, once again, if you find this content useful, if those tricks were helpful for you, please consider to leave a like and subscribe, because it helps me and my channel to grow. But that's it for today's video. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and see you in the next one.